Okay, question 34. Starting with a small list, we've got to order these fractions in order of size. Now, anytime you're comparing fractions or adding and subtracting fractions, we need a common denominator. They are two words that we hear all the time in Key Stage 2, common denominator. So we've got a 4, an 8, and a 2. We're looking for a number that all of those will divide into. And sometimes it's helpful to times the two smaller ones together. Well, the two smaller ones are 4 and 2. 4 times 2 is 8. So therefore, 8 would work for 4 and 2, and it would also work for 8 because this one is already out of 8. So we can use 8 as our common denominator. So to get from 4 to 8, you double it. So if you're doubling the bottom number, you double the top number. Double 3 is 6, so that becomes 6 eighths. Cross out the original fraction because you don't need it anymore. To get from 2 to 8, you're timesing by 4. If you're timesing the bottom number by 4, you times the top number by 4. 1 times 4 is 4, so a half becomes 4 eighths. Cross out the original fraction. So we're dealing with 6 eighths, 1 eighth, and 4 eighths. It's much more of a fair comparison now that we've got them all out of 8. So 6, 1, and 4. So the smallest is going to be this 1 here. So the smallest is going to be 1 eighth. The next smallest is going to be 4 eighths. But when you're writing the answer down, you shouldn't write what you've changed it to. You should write what the equivalent fraction that it came from is. Now, 4 eighths came from a half. So I'm going to write a half next. And the biggest one is this 6 eighths. But what it came from was 3/4. So I should write down what it came from in my answer. Because it's the original fractions that I'm being asked to order, so I should be writing the original fractions down in my answer. So the final answer is 1 eighth is the smallest, half is the middle size because that was worth 4 eighths, and 3/4 is the largest because that was worth 6 eighths.